Ronald Reagan was born on February 6, 1911, in Tampico, Illinois. His parents, Jack and Nell, struggled financially. Reagan's father worked as a shoe salesman, while his mother was a devout Christian and a strong influence on Reagan's life. Reagan attended Eureka College, a small liberal arts school in Illinois. He excelled in acting and public speaking, developing his natural charisma. After graduating in 1932, Reagan began his career as a radio announcer in Iowa. In 1937, Reagan moved to Hollywood to pursue acting. He signed a contract with Warner Brothers and quickly landed roles in films. He became a popular leading man, starring in movies like Knute Rockne, All American, and King's Row. Reagan's Hollywood career was interrupted by World War II. He served in the United States Army Air Forces from 1942 to 1945. Though he did not see combat, he made training films for the military. After the war, Reagan returned to acting, but his career waned in the 1950s. He became increasingly involved in politics during this time. He served as the president of the Screen Actors Guild, where he fought against communist influence in Hollywood. This experience sparked his interest in public service and shaped his political views. Reagan's time in Hollywood had a profound impact on his life. It provided him with a platform to connect with people and honed his communication skills, which would later prove invaluable in his political career. Reagan's political views shifted from liberal to conservative in the 1950s. He became a spokesperson for General Electric, delivering speeches across the country. His speeches, advocating for individual freedom and limited government, resonated with audiences. In 1962, Reagan formally joined the Republican Party. He made his first major political foray in 1964 by delivering a televised speech in support of Barry Goldwater's presidential campaign. The speech, A Time for Choosing, became a defining moment in Reagan's political career. He articulated his conservative philosophy, warning against the dangers of communism and big government. The speech catapulted him to national prominence within the Republican Party. In 1966, Reagan ran for governor of California and won, defeating incumbent Pat Brown. He served 2 terms as governor, from 1967 to 1975. As governor, Reagan faced challenges such as student protests and a budget crisis. He implemented conservative policies, including tax cuts and welfare reform. He also appointed more conservative judges to the state courts. Reagan's governorship further solidified his conservative credentials and positioned him for a run for the presidency. In 1980, Reagan ran for President of the United States against incumbent Jimmy Carter. He campaigned on a platform of economic recovery, a strong national defense, and traditional values. He won a decisive victory, ushering in a new era of conservatism in American politics. Reagan took office on January 20, 1981. As president, Reagan implemented his conservative agenda. He cut taxes, reduced government regulations, and appointed conservative judges to the Supreme Court. He also increased military spending, which contributed to the end of the Cold War. Reagan's presidency was marked by both triumphs and controversies. He survived an assassination attempt in 1981 and faced criticism for his handling of the Iran-Contra affair. Despite these challenges, Reagan remained a popular figure. He was re-elected in a landslide victory in 1984. His presidency is often credited with revitalizing American conservatism and contributing to the fall of the Soviet Union. Section 4. The end of an era. After completing 2 terms as president, Reagan retired from public life. He returned to California with his wife Nancy. He remained active in public life, making occasional appearances and speeches. In 1994, Reagan announced that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. He issued a poignant letter to the American people, thanking them for their support and expressing his hope that a cure for the disease would be found. Reagan's health declined gradually over the next decade. He died on June 5, 2004, at the age of 93. His death sparked an outpouring of grief and tributes from across the political spectrum. Section 5. Legacy and Remembrance. Reagan's death was a national event. Millions of Americans mourned the loss of the former president. His funeral was held at the Washington National Cathedral. World leaders and dignitaries attended, paying their respects to the man who had played such a pivotal role on the world stage. Following the funeral service, Reagan's body was flown to California for burial at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley. The library houses his presidential papers and memorabilia, serving as a testament to his life and legacy. Reagan's legacy continues to be debated by historians and political scientists. His supporters credit him with ending the Cold War, revitalizing the American economy, restoring national pride. His critics argue that his policies contributed to income inequality, increased the national debt. Despite these debates, there is no doubt that Ronald Reagan left an indelible mark on American history. He was a transformative figure who reshaped American conservatism and left a lasting impact on the nation's political landscape.